Hello and welcome to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona. In this episode, we are going to be discussing on two stories. We start with Samuel Umtiti, who have recently opened up on his Barcelona exit, saying that I needed peace and quiet. We are going to be discussing on everything he had to say about that. Then secondly, talking about Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola, of course, who at some point have always been rumored to one day return as Barca coach, but it have just been reported that Pep Guardiola has no plans whatsoever to return to Barcelona in the near future. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, before we get right into the story, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch right up to the very end. After a very slow start to the new season, Samuel Umtiti has finally announced himself as a Lecce player. The defender has recently made his debut for the Italian outfit in the defeat to AS Roma, even emerging as one of the top performers for the Minos. In light of his performance, Umtiti has offered his thoughts on his debut in a recent presser. He also explained his decision to join the Italian outfit. He said, I felt wonderful emotions. I'm proud of the game I played after so many months in which I worked hard to get back up into par with my teammates, said Umtiti when asked about his debut. The Frenchman went on to talk about his objectives during the remainder of the season, but played down talks of potential inclusion in the French team for the upcoming FIFA World Cup. He said, at this time in my life, it is important to play again. I feel valued and important in this team and to achieve my goal with Lecce. World Cup, with the national team, I have written beautiful pages of my career. But for now, I only think about Lecce and do well in this shirt. Umtiti explained his decision to join Lecce as well, suggesting that he wanted some peace and quiet after his dismal spell at Barca. After the Barcelona experience, I needed peace and quiet. Lecce is the best solution because it is also an ideal city to live in. Here are the ideal conditions to start again. During the summer, there were other contacts, but today I feel that I can confirm this choice. Umtiti joined Lecce, at the end of August on a season-long loan deal. The Frenchman had to be offloaded by Barcelona as part of the club's efforts to make space in the defensive unit. He said, I arrived in Lecce with the mentality of facing different challenges every single day. In Barcelona, I had a lot, just as I had the opportunity to play with great champions, he said when asked about his time at Camp Nou. He said, unfortunately, some physical problems forced me to start from scratch. It is not easy to come back, but I chose to write my career with Lecce, and the first step is to try to save ourselves, he said. Despite the impressive debut against AS Roma, Samuel Umtiti's job is far from over at Lecce, as Lecce braces himself for another tricky round of fixtures, starting with Monday's clash against Fiorentina. So that's Samuel Umtiti there, talking about his time at Lecce and also his time at Barcelona, which was a disaster. Great words from him. I think he's now comfortable where he is, which is so important. Umtiti has faced a lot of problems with injuries, knee injuries to be particular. His time at Barcelona, the last 3 years, Umtiti barely plays football matches, and after so many struggles for Barca to push Umtiti out of the door, it finally came to fruition at the end of the transfer window that just passed, and it was one of the best transfer move for Barcelona because Umtiti have been there on the bench occupying space. To be honest, with all due respect to him, it was time for him to go because it was all about him just being there doing nothing, and also his departure also helped when it comes to registrations in LaLiga. But one thing that still haven't affected Barca or something like that, his move is still there because Barcelona still pay his salary in full, so there's no difference. His wages are still there in the wage bill for Barca. So financially, the move is not making any sense because Barca still bear the burden of Umtiti's wages 100%. So that's the only issue. But definitely, I think after this loan spell, Barca will try to ensure that Umtiti leave for good. like a permanent transfer. So he made his debut for Lecce against AS Roma this past weekend, and he played well. He had a decent performance there, and I can see Umtiti being, from the way he's talking in this interview, he's trying to he's calming down. I mean, I think he's feeling comfortable right now, and it's great to see him in this state after facing so much problems with injuries, lack of game time, lack of trust from the manager. I think it was the right time for Titi to leave to get some valuable playing time elsewhere. Of course, since Serie A started more than a month ago, Umtiti haven't played a single game until this game against Roma, which is his first game for more than 1 year. Since he played against Osasuna for Barcelona last season. So it's great to see him feeling comfortable, and of course, hoping that he stays fit for a long time, because it has really been a tremendous time for Umtiti's footballing career. Then on to the next story of discussion. It has been a difficult week for Joan Laporta, especially after Barcelona's 3-3 draw with Inter Milan. That puts the club on the brink of elimination from the UEFA Champions League. With the hopes of winning the Champions League dwindling within the first half of the campaign, coupled with Barca's financial mess, it appears Laporta's project is starting to crumble even before it started. This has led to questions being raised over the future of Xavi Hernandez. Although the Spaniard experiences good faith from the board and the fans, Barcelona's recent performances have led to questions about his future at Camp Nou. In the midst of all this, Joan Fontes has reported or has offered an update on Barcelona potentially reappointing former head coach Pep Guardiola. Guardiola, who is currently leading Manchester City, had enjoyed immense success at Barcelona. First appointed as manager by Joan Laporta, the Catalan had won uh, 2 Champions League titles along with 3 LaLiga titles under Pep. However, as per Fontes, Pep has no intention to return to Barcelona to work with Laporta, although the Man City head coach has a very good relationship with the Barca president. He does not fancy the opportunity to reunite with him once again at Camp Nou. It effectively ruled out Pep Guardiola's potential return to Barcelona in the near future, but it is worth noting that his return was never a topic in Catalonia either, even after the recent calamities in Champions League. However, with Pep Guardiola's current deal at Etihad expiring at the end of the season, it will be interesting to see what the future holds for the 51-year-old, especially if he once again fails to land the Champions League title with Man City this term. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.